Ladies and gentlemen, Team 2 for Numero Foot is coming tomorrow, and we have Team of the Year very, very soon. The perfect time to be investing, because we're all going to need millions of coins to get any of the best players from either of these promos, and we all know how hard it is to pack a Team of the Year. So right now is when you need to be preparing, so you have millions of coins when you need them. And remember, guys, if you do want an account upgrade, we're giving one away over on the Discord. All you've got to do is join the free or the premium to get a chance of winning. Make sure to drop a like down below, and of course subscribe if you do enjoy the video. And if you do want to buy some coins, well, do you want the best team in FC25? Yeah, baby! Do you want to be able to buy players like this or this and not be stuck with a team like this? Oh! Then you need to head over to skycoach.gg, select the amount of coins or which weekend league boost you'd like, make sure to pop in Pro Recall at checkout, and enjoy your new team. So first of all, as always, I want to run through my transfer list to just discuss first of all what we've got. Not a lot has changed since the last time I showed you guys. We've got the likes of things like De Jong, Barite here like this, because realistically they're 88 rated cards. They're not going for the value what an 88 should do. They are literally just going for sort of 10k. Of course, that is the current value, but the reality is in, you know, a week or two, these are going to be worth far more. We don't want to sell them now. It makes sense to hold them. A lot of these cards, I mean, if you go through pretty much the entirety of my transfer list, all of these are going to be 88 plus until page 7. Then we've got some 87s. We've got very few sort of under that 86 mark. As you can see, small amount of cards here. Like even the 84s that we've got, I can actually have a look at selling some of these now. These have kind of gone to 2.5k, and I wouldn't mind selling them around here where we can get some lazy buys. But a lot of your other cards, like your 85s, are nowhere near the mark that you'd be willing to sell them at yet. Maybe when they turn to sort of 6, 7k, that's when we can start thinking about it. Personally, for me, for my 86s, I really want these to hit 10k again. That's when I know that these are definitely very easy to sell. And if we have a look at how many I've stored, 15, 16, 16, I've got 16 in total. Will be 160,000 coins. Obviously after EA tax, a little less. Obviously, as you can see, a lot of what I've got is fodder. We've got a few informs, and just to give you the reasoning behind it, Modric, I think, oh, he's finally had an update on his price range, so we can get rid of him now. I'd probably say 20k, so I'm going to get rid of him. That frees up a little bit of space for me personally. I am selling things possibly in some scenarios a little bit soon. As you can see, we've been investing in Katoto a lot. We got her at 19,750 on this occasion. We've already got realistically quite a big increase on that if we go have a look on the transfer market. But before we do, look how quickly these are selling. 2.4 straight away sold. So if we go for our Katoto, obviously, as I say, we've grabbed some at 18, 19, and a few other prices. I've actually had some that I've made a little bit on a loss on, but we are hoping that we should be making profits on those in the coming days and weeks. So this one here, 24,000 coins. So I can actually make 5,000 coins off that Katoto I've got stored. Is it worth selling her? Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. I could get rid of her now and potentially go buy some better players for my team. For the right-ends here, we got these at 19,000 coins. They're going to be around the same value. So we've almost made 5k off of all of these 89s that we've had stored. In terms of investing right now, one thing we do need to look at, and one big thing, is going to be your upgrades. Your 82 times 14s soared the price once again of a lot of the cards that we've been looking at. The base team of the week cards are now worth something. Of course, for a while, they had literally no value. If you look at how many team of the weeks I've got, you guys would be dumbfounded. They're all untradeable as well, so unfortunately a lot of them are useless. But we found the use for them again. Of course, this SBC came back around and increased the price. Now, what we have to remember is this is going to happen with a lot of SBCs. There's a lot of SBCs that are going to come back, and then reintroduce an increase for the cost. Now, the other SBC we had recently was our 85 upgrade, requiring 84s, and also requiring, I think it was an 85 as well. And of course, that impacted the market as well. So we can look at those and know that in the coming days, in the coming weeks, there is also going to be a requirement for 84s and 85s. And obviously, you can see the 84 market from a minute ago is increasing, and there is an opportunity there. Right, guys, the Footbin site has more bugs than your sister after going to university. Unfortunately, I did record this entire bit, and it literally just ruined my audio. I don't know how the site has so many bugs that it ruined my audio. That's pretty rogue, because the whole video is fine. But talking about what I was speaking about is the buys, what is a buy, what isn't a buy, based on cheapest buy rate. And now realistically right now, the 84s, that kind of has gone. Last video we discussed it, 1.4, 1.3, brilliant. As you can see, they've had that 1k rise. You don't want to touch them at the minute. They're awaiting a drop. But when we look at our 86s, our 88s, these are perfect buys in terms of like what fodder should be worth. 86s, I've always seen them as like 10 to 12k, you know, previously. 87s were that 15 to 17k, and your 88s, we're looking around that 20,000 coin mark. mark. Now, of course, they're nowhere near that right now. There has been a change even in price ranges for them to go as low as they are currently. What we do know is over Team of the Year, there's going to be Team of the Year icons. There's going to be Team of the Year nominees. There's potentially going to be Team of the Year SBCs. And that is going to require 86, 87s all the way to our 91 rated players, which means we have an incredible time to buy. I mean, if we look at the players here right now, I'd say that your best buys that are available, 89, 90, 88 and 86 are the absolute primes. Obviously, we've still got the ability to get in at 83s at 900 coins, which is once again always a safe bet because we know they will rise at a stage. You've got the opportunity with informs of Martinez and Kane. Both of these, I mean, realistically, if we look at the difference between the price of the inform and the card, obviously there's a bit of a big jump between Martinez and these golds here. But Kane and Bonmati are within nearly 10k of each other. It's a very, very potential buy, in my opinion. That could be a very good card to get in your locker. To be a huge hike in that lower end inform market. Now, of course, the reason it hikes the lower end inform market is because this requires an 83 team. So basically, the majority of the team of the weeks that people are going to have are going to be at that bottom end. So it doesn't push your 85s, 86s, 87s, 88s, 89s, because they're not going to be used in this. No one is popping in 88s and 89s in this, or if they are, it's because they have way too many informs. The majority of people are going to be using, of course, your standard 80 all the way up to maybe 86s, obviously, as we saw there with Wilson. Now, the reality is that gives a good opportunity for us to have a look at that higher market. Way to do this is going to be heading over to the gold team of the weeks, and we can just pick out some 87s, 88s and review their price on the market. Of course, as you can see here, the majority of these cards are all on that lower end. So if we pop this minimum buy now to 20,000 coins, or even that Gabriel card, probably isn't a bad one to be looking at. You've got the likes of course, Dembele, a little bit more expensive because he's a usable card. Shaw, I think, is probably a more bog standard card. So she's sat at around 20,000 coins. So we can see there has been a definitive rise in even the 87s. Obviously, Gabriel, someone I've looked at quite closely across the year, his inform card not too long ago would have been sat at around 17k. So if we have a look there, nothing can be found at 17. We've got this one at 18, which I would say honestly isn't a bad position to be buying this card at, but not for an investment. For a snipe, sell on quickly at 20 and then move on. We'd definitely advise for you guys though is absolutely staying clear of any numero foot investments. Now, there may be one card in the entire team that has a rise to it, but the reality is the one thing that is painstakingly obvious when we look through this list that is very different to some of the cards, even in my own team, in the SBCs available, is one thing they do not have, and that is a second play style. The big difference between the players in my team that are unbelievable and that are that second level up, you know, obviously R9 is incredible, but when I play, the biggest thing is going to be the play styles. The two play styles on Toure make him almost untouchable. If you have a look at the cards that you are seeing the greatest difference in, even if we look at this Haaland card, there was a huge hype around him because he had those two play styles, similarly to the striker. If we look at the Winter Wildcard team, what is the difference between them and the current promos is those play styles. What's going to happen over Team of the Year is one play style cards are going to plummet. That includes R9, that includes Garincha, that includes Hullet. Anyone who has a one play style is going to be pushed down by the two play style cards. Whether we get an Henri, whether we get a Pele, whether we get any of these cards, Palmer for example, this is going to be a useless Palmer compared to the Team of the Year Palmer that we're going to get. The nominees will get 2, the actual Team of the Years will get 3. That's how I believe they're going to play it, and it means the market is going to crash. So even if they're good players, you don't want to be involved. Stay out of any players with one play style plus unless it's fodder, and stay on this channel. Make sure to subscribe.